Positive thinking. Does it really work? Is it really that important in your journey to the best version of yourself? If you've read a few self-improvement books here and there, notice that positive thinking gets brought up quite a lot. But what is the real importance of positive thinking in our self-improvement journeys? Well, today we're going to be exploring 4 benefits of positive thinking and how you can use positive thinking in practical terms in your everyday life to build the best life for yourself. If you're not yet subscribed, as 80% of you are, please smash the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications bell. It's really not that hard. Let's get the video rolling. Alright, now firstly, if you cannot picture the dream life that you want in your head, you will never be able to physically achieve it. This is where positive thinking plays an immense role. You need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking of every detail of the life that you want. What type of house do you want to live in? What car do you want to drive? How much money do you want to make monthly, yearly? It all comes down to the details. If we cannot manifest or foresee those details in our head, how are we going to come up with a constructive plan in order to get there? Remember, it's one thing to have that vision, but how are we going to devise a plan? In order for our plan to be effective, our vision needs to be clear. So if you cannot think positively about your future, if you're one of those people who always say, man, I'm never going to change, my life is never going to change, I'm forever going to be stuck here, I'm never going to make enough money, listen, you are down the wrong path.
Oh shit, here we go again.
We all have bad days, ladies and gentlemen, but it is how you handle them, it is how you interpret them, and it is the lessons that you take from them. But the point is, you cannot positively visualize the life that you want in the future. You are not going to be able to construct a plan to get there. So make sure that you utilize positive thinking in your manifestation. Secondly, one cannot stay motivated all of the time. I've said this before, I'll keep on using this very statement. Motivation is the spark that ignites the flame, and please write this down. Motivation is the spark that ignites the flame. Consistency and positive thinking keep the flame burning. I mean, yeah, you could have an initial push, that initial motivation, and you feel good for a week, and then you stop doing whatever you were doing. You've lost motivation, you've lost that drive, and you begin to think negatively, right? It shifts from a positive mindset to a negative mindset. You had all of this ambition, you had all of this drive to complete whatever you wanted to complete. You failed, and then your mind immediately turned negative. You immediately begin telling yourself that, nah, this is not for me. I can't do this. I failed multiple times. Why should I keep doing this? We've all been there. We all still will be there at some stage in our life. Ladies and gentlemen, it is all about resilience and persistence. You will fail multiple times throughout life. Many business ideas, many content ideas are going to fail, are going to flop, and you'll be sitting there immediately thinking negative. No, you shouldn't think that way. You should view this failure as an opportunity to better. View this as an opportunity for you to think more creatively, to force yourself to think more creatively. For example, it's pretty hard as an upcoming YouTuber to think of topics that would relate to the audience, like you guys. And you have to sit there, you have to do your research, you have to experiment with a few topics, and at the end of the day, you are going to flop with most of those topics. But it takes one video. If that one video can be seen by thousands and thousands of people, it blows up YouTube channels. This is just an example that I'm using. But the point is this. You will face failure multiple times throughout your journey. It is how you utilize your power of positive thinking and the way you learn from those failures that determine the rest of your path forward. Now, a positive headspace is a prerequisite for life-changing progress. Think about it. You have this idea to start an online personal training business, right? You've got this fantastic logo, you've got the name, you've got an idea of what you're supposed to do, but immediately you begin telling yourself negative things. You immediately begin to think, oh, but the competition is so hectic. Oh, but look at this person, he knows more, she knows more, her page looks better. We begin to compare ourselves. We begin to make all of these negative assertions, and we begin to think that, man, maybe we're not good enough. No, that headspace is going to start you off on the wrong foot. A prerequisite for life-changing success, life-changing progress is a positive headspace. You have to think that, okay, there's a lot of competition in this space, but how can I stand out? What can I offer you that is unique? What can I offer my clients that nobody else is offering? You have to see the gap. It's not always that easy. It's not always that simple. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you need that positive headspace. If you cannot create that positive headspace via positive thinking, as they so call it, you will not be able to come up with creative ideas to get yourself out of that hole. It's not always going to be easy to think positive. Most of the time, we go through all of the stress, and in this fast-paced, highly competitive society, we are all stressed beyond measures ever imaginable. So, use the little bit of energy that you have left and channel it in a positive way. Right, now, we've touched a little bit upon failure earlier in the video. Now, in order to overcome failure, one cannot harbor a negative mindset. So positive thinking helps us to also overcome our failures. It helps us to take each failure as a lesson going forward. And as I said, multiple occasions there are going to be that you're going to want to give up. This is the last time that I'm failing. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. That failure should be looked at in a positive manner. It should be looked at as a lesson. It should be looked at as an analogy for yourself, right? Because why did you fail? Did you not put in enough effort? Was the idea not good enough? Was it circumstances outside of your control? There are multiple things that could have caused this, but at the end of the day, you give yourself that much of a better shot if you harbor a positive way of thinking about failure. In order to overcome and to learn from and extract the maximum amount of information from that failure, you need to be willing to keep an open mind. You need to be willing to be opportunistic regarding that failure. See the lesson in each failure, ladies and gentlemen. For otherwise, every other failure will be knocking you down and you won't be getting up. If you found this content valuable and you found it insightful and it inspired you, well, let it inspire you to also leave a like on this video. Please share it with friends and family. My name is Estian, and just because you made it to here, I'm going to be offering you a free motivational ebook. Just comment success down below and I'll send it to you.